Hey folks, this is your host, the one, the only Thrifty Gamer 83 here. You know, something that has been on my mind for the longest time has been the rise, decline, and death of rental shops. You know, as a kid growing up in the late 80s, everything that seemed to bloom and blossom for renting games and for renting cassettes was just that perfect time. It was just a perfect connection for previewing games. This was before the age of the digital explosions, before the age of where you would only have just one niche digital distribution to purchase or to rent from. It actually meant going outside. It actually meant talking to people. It actually meant socially interacting. It's one of those nice times that you had the late 80s, and then it slowly moved into the 90s, and in between the late 80s and the 90s was just this perfect time. It was a perfect time of renting and previewing games and movies, having that access. The world wasn't digitally connected, and you had that chance to actually talk to people and get to know them and discuss, this game's coming out or that game's coming out, it looks kind of cool, yeah, maybe I'll buy it. And you also had different discount options for purchasing pre-owned games, equipment, cassettes. It was really a nice business model. And wow, just the timing of it all. Like I said before, you have to remember, in the grand scheme of things, having the open availability of renting was just new. It wasn't exactly cheap, and sometimes you had to be a member. You had shops like Blockbuster, you had shops like Sounds Easy Video here in Maine, you had shops like Movie Gallery. These were all just, they even had third-party game controllers which they sold to try and just compete against the likes of Radio Shack or Walmart. All kinds of different businesses and venues. You could really tell this was something special by what was going on. Now, as you move into the 2000s, that's where things got tricky, more so than SSX. Things got really tricky and complicated really, really fast. And with the advent of having broadband internet or DSL, you had a much faster connection and a much better imprint into the digital medium. And things were advancing so quickly that it was just amazing to watch as companies like Blockbuster, Movie Gallery, Sounds Easy Video had faded by this point, and to just really, really put it into words, when Netflix and GameFly started emerging, started advertising, started becoming relevant, it was literally becoming just how quickly things could be seen as spiraling out of control. And it wasn't a good spiral. It was pretty much the death of brick and mortar stores, the death of large chain rental stores. Everything was coming to an end, pretty much. With Blockbuster, it was just so sad to watch, really. It was sad to watch. It was sad to see that so many folks were going to be without jobs. I can remember going to a Blockbuster, talking to some of the employees, and they said, "Yeah, we're gonna open up again." "Oh yeah, you're gonna open up again? How does that go? Which store frontage are you going to go through?" And then they told me, "Well, we're going online." And that pretty much meant that anything to do with Blockbuster having a physical impression was lost. It meant that things had gone to the digital age, and Blockbuster hadn't been really prepared to deal with that. It also meant that so many other stores were stumbling and fumbling around, and literally it just meant the end of the physical era. Now you have the digital era, which we live in, and it's nice, and it enables you not to have to go outside and to socialize. Oh, let's be honest, it kind of sucks. You need that socialization. You need to talk to people. I still like the appeal of Redbox rentals, and I still like the fact that some of the used movies or games you can get for $5 or $10. It's really nice. Well, the games and movies we've purchased, $5 or $10, that isn't too bad. That's really what you need when you decide, hey, yep, I like this movie, so I'm gonna buy it to keep it, and it's not out on digital for some reason. So yeah, that's nice. And it's also nice that you're not paying the $20 to buy the brand new movie, or even if it's an older movie, you're not paying the $10. So yeah, that's all in all, that's pretty nice. With digital distributions, I just find that a majority of the time you are just confined into the purchasing environment, into how much it will be, and looking at it like that, the death of physical video, the death of a physically rented game, yeah, I can see why the time seems so nice. Like I said before, the early 80s and into the 90s, it just seemed like that perfect time. Maybe it's rose-colored glasses, I don't know, but it was a nice time. It was a nice time to have that. It was a nice time to be able to go into a store, discuss new games, and see what would be coming in next month, see the movies, just having that knowledge, and being told when this movie or that movie would come out for rentals by a store manager or by someone who owned their own store. That's what's missing, because nowadays you can just hop on the internet, find out when, say, Endgame is coming out, and yeah,